How's your phone?
Doing better now. I mean, that's probably up there with the MAC championship. Yeah, no, it was more than that. The most texts I've ever had on my phone after the game. I mean, dudes calling you that you haven't heard from in 2 or 3 years, that kind of thing. And then, obviously all the ex-teammates that you have, the guys, all the alumni texting you and calling you. And I still was trying to keep up with it a little bit yesterday. But, talking to those people and seeing, what they had to say about the whole situation, all that just, it's probably the best feeling in the world.
And what's been the reaction around campus so far for you?
I mean, it's the best feeling I've ever felt around campus. I mean, even when we won the MAC championship in 19, when we came back and brought the buses uptown, there wasn't people uptown like that. Like when we drove the buses back and the streets were literally crowded with people, it was something I've never experienced here before, and it was just something that I never thought I would experience, to be honest with you. Like seeing all these fans and all the students outside and stuff, and then going out after that and seeing everybody like cheering for you and so happy and stuff like that, and all coming together for your team is just one of the best feelings I've ever felt.
It was kind of a bend but don't break type day for you guys, but I mean that's as good of a goal line defensive game I think you can have. What did you kind of see out of your defensive front that allowed you guys to be so successful? I mean, you really limited. UC was in the red zone 4 or 5 times and only scored on a couple of them.
Yeah.
They had 3 first goals and had 7 field goals.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of, for as long as I've been here, that's our defensive mantra is, bend, don't break. And, we obviously did bend. We gave up whatever it was, 550 yards, which is, something you don't want to have, so we're going to have to look at the tape with that. But, with our goal line defense, with something that we really emphasized throughout the week, it's something that we worked on Thursday, worked on Wednesday, Friday walkthrough, we worked on it. Saturday morning, we walked on it. Saturday at our walkthrough, we worked on it. And then, obviously it came to fruition that night at Nippert. And, for us in the defensive front, I think that, for us, it was just a mindset of how we're going to attack them during the game. We're not going to let them in the end zone. You can have 3 points, but you're not getting in the end zone. And, that's kind of what it came to with our defensive front.
So playing Delaware State this week, how are you guys preparing for them, and how do you kind of get ready for that game with coming off such a big win?
Yeah, I know. I think it's a really hard thing that we're going to have to, get accustomed to this week, and I think we're still trying to right now because all the emotions that come from that game, it was our Super Bowl. Like you want to get the bell back, we got the bell back, and trying to come down from that a little bit and keep preparing the same way that we did prepare for Cincinnati. You got to prepare for everyone the same way, and for us, it's taking one step at a time, one practice at a time. And, when it comes to Delaware State, yeah, you can think what you want about whatever you want to think about them, but they're just another opponent on the schedule, and we really got to prepare the same way.
I guess there's more and more mobile quarterbacks all the time in college football. But how do you think you guys did as far as containing their quarterback, chasing him around, and that he's pretty good athlete?
Yeah, he was obviously ran for, I think it was 800 yards in the SEC, so the dude can move. But I think we did an okay job. Obviously, he had, I don't know what it was, I think it was 80 yards or 90 yards or something like that rushing. And I think a lot of those came on, pass plays where he's dropping back and then he's scrambling up the middle or something like that. And some of the times we had pressures on with just the 4 guys up front, and there were some gaps there. But I think when it comes to that, it's just corralling him a little more. And obviously when you play a guy of that caliber, it's really hard to keep him in the pocket. So, going forward, we just got to really emphasize that as our D-line and keeping him in the pocket.
Joe, I'll just get a start here. I mean, obviously this is your first year here, but what was it like in the locker room after a win like that?
Oh, man, the atmosphere was amazing. Being in the locker room after a big win like that, everybody's jumping around, music's playing, bells ringing. Everybody's excited, jumping up and down, coaches, players. The excitement level was through the roof.
Did you understand how important this game was to this team, obviously being from Notre Dame?
Yeah, I definitely thought it was important. I knew the importance of it. I knew it was a rivalry, not only a rivalry, a trophy game. So bringing back the bell, I knew that was important. But also individually for me, Cincinnati took my senior season away from me. We lost at Notre Dame, so this was actually a personal game for me. And then on top of that, having it being a big rivalry game and a trophy game for Miami, it was awesome that we can knock two birds with one stone.
Obviously, Gage, in terms of your receiving core, has been a guy who's had the majority of the catches through the first couple of weeks. But, he had the huge first play. Other than that, he didn't really get targeted a whole lot through the air. UC was clearly concerned with him. How were you and some of the other receivers, Miles, and some of the guys out of the backfield as well, able to kind of step into that? And obviously you had the huge touchdown catch at the end.
Yeah, we knew Gage was going to be a problem. He's the the nation's leading receiver right now. So we knew that they were going to bracket him. They were going to shift coverage over to him. And the coaches and Gage himself said, we know what they're going to do. So now it's time for me and Miles and Javon to step up for him being double covered or them shifting coverages to him.
What's going through your head in the moments leading up to and the moments after Yestin McKee blocking that field goal?
Oh man, we were really excited the whole game. We had played a hard-fought game. We were really excited. We were doing really well. We were making a lot of plays, and then with the block field goal, your emotions just fluctuating, and then we're like, man, oh man, oh man, like we fought so hard. Then we're just praying. I'm looking. I'm like, we're gonna block it. We're gonna block it. There's no way we're gonna lose this game. There's no way we're gonna lose this game. And lo and behold, Frizz makes an unbelievable play, and man, we're jumping up and down. We knew we were gonna win after that, though.
Faced some pretty good teams so far. How would you rate the coverages in the secondaries that you've faced so far? It looks like you've had some pretty challenging secondaries to face.
I think that they've been pretty good. A lot of man coverage and a lot of cover two. So it's basically basic things. You have cover two in the boundary and sometimes cover two to the field. So the safeties were, physical coming down and run support, but the corners and secondary overall, I didn't think were too overwhelming.
Joe, what can you tell us about Delaware State? Have you had a chance to look at them on the film yet?
No, I haven't looked at them yet, but I know, like Ertl said, we're going to prepare for every opponent the same way, and we're going to prepare for them just like we prepare for Cincinnati, and we plan to come out and win just like we beat Cincinnati.